co-host Wiley. No, the co-host killer hasn't struck again. Main outro, he's just out for one day. So I'm talking about my Clippers for the entire show. All right, I'm just kidding. Let's get it started, though, right here in L.A. with free agency. That started Monday, and the Lakers have been too busy, very busy. They already added Russell Westbrook a few days ago in a multiplayer trade, according to reports. Now they're welcoming former Lakers back. Dwight Howard's in the building. Big shoulders and Trevor Ariza, Westchester High School, Kent Bazemore, Wayne Ellington. Damn. Take a look at the Lakers offseason so far. Kyle Kuzma, KCP, Trez, Harrell, Alex Caruso, Headband Man, they're all out. Westbrook, Ariza, Bazemore, Ellington, Howard are in for the purple and gold. So I got to bring in two Fox NBA analysts for this one. Chris Broussard and Slick Rick the Buchler. So let's start with you, Slick. How should we feel about the Lakers right now?
I'm going to go, if I have to use one word, I'm going to say deja vu. I feel as if what they are trying to do is recapture what they had 2 years ago in terms of the chemistry and the structure of the team. First of all, you're bringing back a bunch of guys that we've already seen in Lakers uniforms before, and Trevor Ariza and Kent Bazemore and Dwight Howard. But it's also that idea that veterans with something to prove may be a little bit better than last year's team. And yes, 2 years ago, they were the second oldest team in the league, and last year they were the oldest team in the league. But they really relied on younger pieces last year more so than they did the year before, particularly when it got to the playoffs. So I understand what they're trying to do. Essentially what they're telling us is that even healthy, they were not buying that last year's team was good enough in order to win it all. Otherwise, they would have made a greater attempt to just run it back with what they had. They're trying to get back to what they had 2 years ago as a last gasp. Let's see if we can get a bunch of veterans that have something to prove and want to win a ring, get them together, and get one more shot at it with LeBron James and Anthony Davis before the clock really strikes midnight. I just am not buying that this is ultimately going to work, because the great distinction is with this older team, you're not going to get 3 months off before the playoffs in order for everybody to regenerate and then start their engines up again. So I get why they're doing what they're doing, and I don't know that they had a better option to go to. But if you're asking me whether it's deja vu in terms of it's going to work the same way it did 2 years ago, I just believe that the circumstances are going to be too different for the same model to be successful.
Well, I'm looking at it like the Lakers should feel resurrected. Kind of with you, Slick, but I'm not focusing in on the age, because their leader is old, and LeBron James, who's going to be 37 next year. So when you talk about age, let's throw the birth certificates out the window. It's about trust. And LeBron is like, look, since I'm old, I know what I need to get it done, because I've gotten it done 4 times before. Now, if you want a number 5, if you want to complete this hand in terms of all fingers have a ring, you got to give me people I can trust, people that I can activate when necessary. Don't forget that the Lakers are still a damn good team. I think we got lost last year in the injuries in the regular season. It got lost because they lost to the up-and-coming Phoenix Suns, who became the Western Conference champions, who also were down 2-1 in a series to the same Lakers. But that injury bug came and struck again. So if you look at this team right now before injury, Lakers 21-7. That's with AD healthy. After that, 21-23. Completely different team. So LeBron sits back in the lab and starts to draw up a different team. He says, okay, we try to go with the youth. We try to trust in Kyle Kuzma, Mr. Melrose, he's gone. We're going to now trust in people that I know can respond to these moments, people that are champions. And he went out there and got him some guys that he can trust in these moments. The Lakers are for real. They got the mentality. They know that they have the best big 3 in the West. Think about it. All the teams in the West, including my Clippers, if you had to say the top 3 stars on one team, not even the Golden State Warriors, because we don't know about Klay Thompson and returning from injury, it has to be the Lakers. With that mentality that they were up on the Phoenix Suns, Western Conference champions, with the fact that their leader is still LeBron James, oh, they're ready to go out there and get it done now that they trust each other.
Well, after yesterday's moves, I feel the same way about the Lakers that I felt when the Russell Westbrook trade was made known. Intrigued, all right? I said earlier last season that the Brooklyn Nets were one of the greatest chemistry experiments in NBA history. Well, the LA Lakers, they make the Brooklyn Nets big three look like a match made in heaven. Heck, they make Joel Embiid and Andre Drummond look like a match made in heaven. All right, it all depends on how those big three pieces can work and fit together. What they did yesterday, though, I mean, I think that's what we all expected. We didn't know exactly who the individual players would be, but we figured this is the route that the Lakers are going to go. Number one, you know LeBron. Go back all the way to Miami. When LeBron started putting together big threes, he always wanted veterans who knew how to win, right? In Miami, he had guys like Mike Miller. Ray Allen saved the Miami Heat. Shane Battier, guys like that. Cleveland, Kyle Korver, and guys of that ilk. And then when they won it here, he had Danny Green and Rajon Rondo and all that. So this is more of the same. LeBron saying, look, I don't need the young guys that we have to teach how to win, the Kyle Kuzmas. We need veterans who are tunnel vision on a championship and are happy to play their role. So they went out and got shooters. All right, those three guys, Bazemore, Ellington, Trevor Ariza, kind of 3-and-D guys, good shooters. They're not scary good. All right, I think the Lakers' three-point shooting will pretty much be what it's been the last couple of years. A little below average. That's where they'll be. I get it that Bazemore and Ellington shot well last year from three. But, you know, we've seen Wesley Matthews and other guys that have really shot it well elsewhere get streaky when they're on the big stage with LeBron. And I think that's what we'll see with this group of guys as well. And then to go get Dwight Howard, they're saying we're going to go big. All right, a lot of people want to go small. We missed Howard's muscle and athleticism. I know Andre Drummond was big, but he wasn't as mobile and athletic as Dwight Howard. So they're going for that again. So they did about what they could. If they could have gotten a Patty Mills or somebody like that, that would have been great. He's in Brooklyn. So, you know, a so-so day for them. But it really all is going to depend on how well their big three meshes and how well Ellington, Bazemore, and the like can hit three-point shots.
So I guess we all agree in one sense that we understand why they did what they did. The distinction is, do we think it's going to work or how well it's going to work? And again, I'm going to go back to comparing to 2 years ago, which the great difference being, and Chris points this out, is that big three and how well they work together. With Rajon Rondo as the second playmaker, he was playing at a tempo that fit with an older team, with the Dwight Howards and the Jared Dudleys and the Danny Greens. And now you have a Russ Westbrook who does not play well that way. He plays better when he plays fast. And while you had an older team that you could rely on and that were experienced 2 years ago, during the regular season, the top minutes played, the guys that were higher in the rotation were the younger guys. They got them to the finish line, and then in the playoffs, you saw the Rondos and the Danny Greens step up and play more minutes. They really don't have that equation this time around.